Connecting Arizona. Live from the 12 News Studios at 200 East Van Buren. This is 12 News at 5. The news begins now.
I can't even tell you how many hundreds of bee stings they had on their face and all over their bodies.
It took us about 5 minutes to find them because they were in a shady spot on the mountain.
As we were coming up to them, we didn't know if they were unconscious or not because they were both laying down covering their faces.
And once we found them, we saw them swarm with bees, and at that point I'm just like, hey, what if I hover over them and blow the bees away? At that point we decided, let's just get them off.
But up on the mountain, you're at the mercy of nature. I realized they were still being stung by bees, and one of them came up and started reaching for me, and I had to yell at him and tell him to get back against the wall. I had the bee suit on, fortunately, and I had to wipe my face clean so I could see them. I just kept talking to them, kept them calm.
Good evening. A daring rescue as two young men burning from hundreds of bee stings waited for a lifeline to carry them out of a dangerous crevice filled with thousands of killer bees. Thanks for joining us tonight. And we're learning more about the daring rescue that unfolded yesterday. The hikers and their friend who died while trying to escape that attack. All three of these young men were new military recruits just weeks away from going to basic training. Tonight, we'll talk live with a pilot of that rescue helicopter who was able to get close enough to those dangerous rocky edges of Camelback Mountain in order to lift those young men to safety. But let's begin our coverage tonight with Melissa Blazia. She's live in Echo Canyon with more on the young man who died trying to get away from those deadly bees. Melissa?
This is 12 News at 5. The news begins now.
Nick would do what it takes to get the job done. Never complaining.
It's really, truly amazing.
It's amazing. The turnout, it's incredible. You can hardly talk about it.
I have 3 sons that are Border Patrol, and his fellow agents thought he was just wonderful.
Agent Nicholas Ivey remembered today in southern Arizona. Family, friends, and fellow agents setting aside all the controversy over the border, circumstances surrounding the shooting to honor a man, a husband, and a father. Today, thousands of people came out to honor the man whose life was tragically cut short at just 30 years old. A friend and fellow Border Patrol agent said Nicholas Ivey was not an extrovert by nature, but what he was a family man, a leader in his church, and also a dedicated Border Patrol agent.
The sting of death is painful for those of us left behind. But Nick is in a good place.
The news begins now.
Just past 29th Street, heading eastbound on Greenway. Going to head southbound now. Heading southbound on SR 51. We do have the police department's helicopter overhead. This chase started somewhere on the I-17 near Peoria. Hey, he just got off the freeway. He's just driving all over the place. Country Club in the 202. Oh, it looks like he just had a minor accident. He hit that pickup truck right there. Looks like he's going to head back on the highway. He's coming up on Southern right now on the 101. He's going to get back on the highway. He just got off on the Sky Harbor exit. I don't know if that's an undercover police officer. I believe so. That's undercover. They're trying to pull him over right now.
Well, what a crazy afternoon. And 12 News was the only camera there when the suspect was finally arrested in South Phoenix. Phoenix police wanted to pull him over because the minivan he was driving was reported as stolen. The driver drove all across the valley trying to stay away from the police. But in the end, he got out of the van, laid down on the ground, and surrendered. This chase went on for more than an hour this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Curtis. The police chopper carefully followed the minivan for miles and miles, and this guy took him everywhere, from I-17 in Peoria, in North Phoenix, over to the 51, then down south to the 202, and even to the 101, before he finally circled back towards town and eventually stopped in South Phoenix. William Pitts is at the 4th Avenue Jail, and that's where this guy is tonight. William? The race for U.S. Senate, one of the most intense battles in the state. You've seen the attack ads for weeks.
Jeff Flake doesn't deserve my vote or my respect.
Richard Carmona, personally recruited by Barack Obama.
Congressman Jeff Flake's just not for us.
Richard Carmona. The more you know, the worse it gets.
Today, the candidates came face to face. Would their meeting be as confrontational as their ads?
I can tell you, absolutely false. That's absolutely false. There was never a discussion about that. So nice try, Congressman.
You can take that up with Senator Kyle.
I don't have to take it up with you because you said it.
I can't get my opponent to actually stake out a position.
Congressman Flake has been all over the place on immigration. When he's a congressman, he was for it. When he wants to be a senator, he's against it.
Congressman Jeff Flake and Rich Carmona going head-to-head on the issues. They were here at the Arizona Republic editorial board this afternoon. Later on tonight, they'll face off in a more formal debate. Also tonight, Carmona is getting some big support from a political rock star, President Bill Clinton. Political reporter Bram Resnick joins us live from Tempe with more on tonight's rally with the president and also the heated conversation between the two candidates. And Bram, it did get pretty heated. Army generals caught in a scandal, in a tangled, confusing web of deceit, infidelity, and intrigue. First, the leader of the CIA, General David Petraeus. His affair with biographer Paula Cuadrado was uncovered after a woman in Florida, Jill Kelly, received threatening emails reportedly from Broadwell. Now it turns out the top U.S. commander in Afghanistan, General John Allen, is also part of the scandal after reports of thousands of emails between him and Kelly, who's also friends with Petraeus, surfaced. Then a shirtless FBI agent pulled off the case. Add it all together, and you've got a full-blown scandal. As one columnist tweeted today, this saga's soap opera name is readily apparent: a love Pentagon. Good evening. Another mess in Washington. What is going on? Many people asking, with our country's top leadership sworn to protect our national security. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, this scandal that forced the resignation of CIA Director David Petraeus is widening.
Anyone interested in being part of the lottery pool, come down to the breaking news desk now.
Stay with the numbers you've been playing your whole life.
Can't win if you don't play.
Sign me up. Perfect. Celeste, a ticket.
Always buy an odd number of tickets.
Future millionaire. You can't win if you don't play.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us. And I really am hoping that this is going to be your lucky day. I hope one of our viewers wins the Powerball. If not, I hope that all of us here at 12 News who've gone in on our lottery pool win the Powerball. But someone here in Arizona, please. Powerball tickets are being sold nonstop ahead of tonight's huge drawing for that record jackpot, and the numbers are staggering. So far, people in Arizona have spent $6.4 million on tickets just today. So we're doing the show a little bit different tonight. All of our reporters are standing by, and you can see them. They're spread out all over the place. There's Steve Handelsman. He's in Washington. Jay Gray is down in Dallas covering the lottery. So some are here doing the lottery stories, and others aren't. But we're going to spin this little lottery machine. Can you guys get a tight shot of this? And every reporter wants to be the lead tonight, even my good buddy Steve Handelsman in Washington. So this first draw, as we spin the numbers, is going to be a big deal. Is this? Yeah, okay, here we go. Keep spinning. Yeah, I got it. I'm talking to my producer here. Okay, so the first one is Caribe. Caribe, I can't believe how lucky you are. Do you feel like a Powerball winner?
Me, I do. I feel like a winner. And Mark, I promise I'll split it with you. I promise.
I love it.
Will. All right, well, now that I'm feeling lucky in the lotto, we've certainly been lucky in our weather here lately.
Thanks a lot, Caribe. It's time to pick another reporter, and everyone is just chomping at the bit, hoping that if they couldn't be number one like Caribe, maybe they could be number two. Again, we're letting these little balls determine the order of our newscast. It could be the highest rated 12 newscast at 5 ever. And if this is the way we're going to do it and we get high ratings, who knows what's going to happen. Oh, my goodness. We're keeping it in-house here. Lynn Sue up in the newsroom. Where are you, Lynn Sue?
I'm in the information center. And you know what, Mark?
There you are.
Is there somebody making sure that you're not rigging this drawing?
I promise you I have not rigged this.
It's all on the up and up.
Yes.
Okay.
So you have the rundown of today's top story.
I sure do. And we're going to start with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office SWAT team. They were called out to search for a shooting suspect today.
You know, and full transparency here, we planned on doing at least one lottery story off the top of this newscast on this lottery day. So far, let it be known, not one lottery story. Maybe this will be the lucky one. Yes, Lisette Martinez. Finally, we get to talk about the lottery. How's the Powerball out there where you are?
Mark, it is Powerball mania here at this gas station near 44th Street in McDowell.
Only here, 5,000 tickets have been sold so far, and the customers keep on coming.
So we've had 3 reporters. We had 6 to begin with. 3 we've gone to. That means we have 3 left to go. Let's spin the wheel one more time. I want to get to my national guys, Steve Handelsman and Jay Gray. Jay's down in Dallas and Steve's in Washington. Hopefully. Aha! Steve Handelsman. Can you hear me? All right,
I
Steve.
got you, Mark. Thanks.
I know you're covering the fiscal cliff, but we could do a lot of damage solving the crisis with this Powerball.
That's right. We'll make some comparisons in a minute, but the number 4 story tonight in Phoenix is the number 1 story here on Capitol Hill, the fight over the fiscal cliff. Back to you.
Steve, the normally unflappable Steve Handelsman, I have to ask you, did you buy at least 1 Powerball ticket?
More than 1.
Bless you, my friend. Bless you. Good to see you, Steve Handelsman. All right, let's spin the wheel again. We've got 2 more reporters left to go. Haley Francis here in town they actually went to the little slot that time. I like that. And we're going to go to Haley Francis. She is at
Are you sure?
Yeah. You're at McDowell, what, 44th Street? And last but not least, I want to go down to Dallas and check in with Jay Gray, who's covering the Powerball mania down in the Lone Star State. Hey, Jay.
Nope, I'm not doing it, Mark. I think I've lost the will to go on. The last ball in the reporter pool.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Is that some kind of precursor to my luck tonight with the drawing? The winning tickets have already been sold here in Dallas, Texas, Mark. Back to you.
All right, Jay, good luck. Sincerely. I hope you win. Not as much as I hope I win, but I hope you win. Good luck, pal. We'll be right back. We're going to actually draw our own Powerball numbers, and we're going to play the numbers that we pick. We're also going to talk to Karen Bach from the Arizona Lottery right after this.
We've got to start with that picture that is truly worth more than 1,000 words. Oh boy, the adjectives are coming in. Tasteless, disrespectful, embarrassing. Just some of the comments on our EVB Live Facebook page about that photo. But there are just as many comments giving the governor a virtual high five for giving the president a piece of her mind. Okay, so now let's break it down here, a little play-by-play for you. The president arrives. He's coming down the steps there of Air Force One. So the limo here will block our view in just a bit, but you'll see their heads above the car here in a bit. So the president there, he's greeting Governor Brewer. So we're going to put a little stopwatch on it here. At about 15 seconds in, that's when we think she hands him that letter urging him to come to the border. So we'll stop the clock at 15 right there. So we'll stop the video just a little bit. We think that's when she hands him the letter. Now, after this, we'll speed it up just a little bit so you can see the whole exchange. You'll also see that Associated Press photographer, his head will dip in there twice to get that now famous picture. You also see the heads of 2 other men right there. They're standing and they heard the whole thing. Who are they? Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton's one of them. Mesa Mayor Scott Smith is the other gentleman. The whole exchange, by the way, between the president and Governor Brewer is about 1 minute and 20 seconds long. You can tell they are talking for sure, Tram. You know, the heads are nodding back and forth. So then the president spends about 30 seconds with those 2 mayors. The mayors, by the way, wouldn't comment on the whole thing, but Scott Smith made a funny joke yesterday saying that he's never seen 2 people so animated about their Super Bowl picks. Now, eventually, Obama walks away. He's got the letter in hand. Now, watch. He either hands it to somebody in the limo or he just tosses it in the limo. Either way, as he comes around the backside of the limo, no more letter in his hand. He's got a big smile on his face, kind of a pretty brisk pace there. And he makes his way to the crowd to start the grip and grin, as they say in political circles.